Hi, my name is Joanna Whitney. I am an intuitive artist, a student of natural law, and an energy practitioner. And we're reading the Kybalion by the Three Initiates. We're in the last chapter, Hermetic Axioms. We're on page 102. And we're on the fourth Hermetic axiom, still the law of polarity, though. It says, mind, as well as metals and elements, may be transmuted from state to state, degree to degree, condition to condition, pole to pole, vibration to vibration. The Kybalion. The mastery of polarization is the mastery of the fundamental principles of mental transmutation or mental alchemy. For unless one acquires the art of changing his own polarity, he will be unable to affect his environment. An understanding of this principle will enable one to change his own polarity as well as that of others, if he will but devote the time, care, study, and practice necessary to master the art. The principle is true, but the results obtained depend upon the persistent patience and practice of the student. So while I'm reading this, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about what they were saying. First of all, once again, um, it is possible to change a polarity that is of the same kind. So, for example, uh, from hate to love is only differing in degree. It's an emotion, two emotions. Um, and I was also thinking about other techniques that I'm aware of that help me to do this. Um, First of all, someone asked me in the comments last week about sovereignty. What do I think about sovereignty? And this whole thing is about sovereignty because it's about ruling the inner monarchy. If I rule my own inner monarchy, then I don't need an external ruler. Therefore, I am sovereign. The word sovereign means king, ruler. So sovereignty is that I am my own ruler. How am I going to be my own ruler if external events make me go from one extreme to the other? Or if my mind itself, if my mind itself absorbs external influences and is like a seesaw going from one extreme to another. If I can't control my inner monarchy myself, then I'm not going to be sovereign. I'm going to be ruled by mind control. I'm going to use uh, different um, temptations provided by product producing materialism to sway my feelings. Like if I get mad, I'll go shopping, that kind of thing. I'm not ruling the inner monarchy if that's the case, because then um, the producers are ruling my monarchy. They can sway me one way or the other. They can put forward um, information that might make me fearful and make me want to seek comfort in buying something new. Therefore, I'm not ruling the inner monarchy. Therefore, I'm not sovereign. I'm a slave to external events. So, again, how to do this? And, these days, I have to admit, it's very difficult for me to concentrate these days on one thing. Well, that's pretty much my normal thing. My astrology makes it very difficult for me personally to be disciplined and consistent. However, there are plenty of variations of this technique that I can use to change it up and make it interesting and different. And it can all be based on Qigong, basically. Most things are based on Chinese medicine that I've found the most effective things. So, um, running through the basic um, Qigong practice, however I do it. And there's many ways to do it. There's a lot of videos online. There's um, Facebook groups. There's a group that does a daily Qigong at 10:30 in the morning or 11:30 Central Time every day, Monday through Friday. There's little routines that you can do. And then there's other ways you could do it in person if you could find it, or you can get some DVDs, depending on your level of discipline. And then once you do those exercises, then you open yourself up to being able to receive immense amounts of power from the cosmos and earth energy. And that increases your abilities, your psychic abilities, which will make it easier, in my experience, to find that state of neutrality. Being able to develop the observer self. However you do it, you may do a different meditation every day, a different type of meditation every single day, but whatever you're doing is going to help you to develop the observer self so that you can not fall prey to being swung from one pole to the other by an external force or by your own internal habits, mental habits. So, another way to break this down, I was just thinking about, is if when I'm disturbed, I can take a look at myself, do a self-evaluation. When I feel like I want to shop, I could pause and ask myself, what is it that I actually want? What's going on with me? Was there an interaction with someone that made me angry or upset or sad? Or am I feeling afraid from, watching too many YouTube videos of people with clickbait trying to predict negative things happening in the future, which never actually come to pass? Okay, then I could hone in on what it was. Then I could ask myself, what is it that I want in the situation? Do I want guaranteed security, or do I want respect, or do I want um, not to be alone, or do I want um, some idea from ancient history about the American dream that doesn't exist? Do I want security, perceived security? Is that why I'm upset? Because those wants and desires are threatened, and are they even real? Then I can ask myself, where I'm being dishonest in the situation. So, for example, if I'm angry at someone, have I ever done what they are supposedly doing to me right now? Have I ever done it? If I have done what I perceive someone is doing, then I can't really be angry at them because I've done it. Therefore, I'm angry at myself for doing whatever it is they're doing. I'm perceiving them as doing. Um, and then what am I doing? How am I perpetuating my vehemence? Am I just ruminating about what I'm seeing they're doing? Am I running around talking about it to other people, gossiping about them, pumping myself up with self-righteous indignation over what I perceive them to be doing? Um, do I believe that I know how they should be behaving? That would be called playing God, since I have no idea, unless I walk a mile in another person's shoes, I have no idea what they're going through, so I can't really judge them. Um, and then what's my fear? What am I afraid of? Again, am I afraid of being alone? Am I afraid of losing my security? Am I afraid of um, losing something that I believe that I should have or not getting something that I want? So once I have evaluated the situation going through each of those things, it's most likely I will be able to achieve neutrality. I will be able to get into the middle between the two poles because I will have honestly looked at myself. I will have self-evaluated and I'll be able to see the truth about the person, the people I'm angry at, or the situation I'm afraid of. And I'll be able to move from fear to love. See, I don't think the opposite of fear is courage. I think the opposite of fear is love. Or I'll be able to move from hate to love to hate. See, to me, fear is at the basis of hate. So I would drill it down to that. Um, Anger, the opposite of anger is peace. Or, um, I mean, of course, there is healthy anger, a lot of healthy anger, especially these days. But if I'm planning on, wanting to really affect change upon situations that are happening in the world, I do have to get control of my own mental states first. I can't possibly think that I can affect anything outside of myself if I can't rule the inner monarchy. And I can't rule the inner monarchy if I am polarized into one side or the other. So, in order to do this, so what they're talking about, they talk about a lot of is to do something called mental alchemy, where you say I'm really angry and hate someone, then I would instead cultivate feelings of love. I might actually like utilize a situation where I felt deep love, and then I would drag my attention away from the hate and then I would incubate the feelings of love. Um, for me, I have to do a little bit more than that, honestly. I have to do something like what I just went through with you today, go through this little um, stock taking and look at myself. And when I do that, it really levels the playing field and I see myself in the other person. Um, I mean, even if the people are extremely sick, like mentally ill, like I was talking about last week, I've behaved that way a long time ago when I still thought that gossip was a form of communication. I don't know if anybody here has ever done that, but I do notice that nowadays that a lot of times talking about other people and what's wrong with them is the entire conversation. I used to do that. Um, and that was self-righteous indignation, which several hours later would produce self-loathing. That's the law of cause and effect at work. There's always a lag time. So a lot of times you don't know that you brought it on yourself. But I mean, that's a negative polarity, but it does illustrate the point. What goes up must come down. The idea here is to find that state of neutrality because then, and find it like within yourself, because then you can't be ruled by anyone else or taken advantage of or manipulated. So, I think that's about all I have today for this lesson, and see you next time.